Hey everyone, it's your favourite noise producer, UK Noise Wall here, or should I say your favourite multi-genre producer, Yux here, because I had a bit of a rebrand. Now I go by Yux, because I make more than just noise now. Still making UK Noise Wall stuff, but Yux is my main brand now, because I have like 10 different projects that are all wildly different, all have different names. So yeah, I'm back with another really exciting tier list video focusing on underground music labels. So yeah, I've updated a bunch of the logos. I've added a bunch of new labels that weren't in the last one. Some of these are ones I just forgot to put in, and some are labels that have popped up in the last couple of years. I originally wanted to make this an annual thing, but last year I just didn't end up doing this because I had two more kids and life got really busy. So didn't really have time to sit and record a video when you've got two screaming children and a 3 year old as well. Two screaming babies and a 3 year old. So, all my time was basically looking after two little new babies. So, um, and then this year I also took a pretty long break for like half a year, the first half of the year, for a bunch of reasons. Don't really want to get into why, doesn't really matter. But yeah, so, um, but I'm back doing music regularly, you know, across all these new projects. Still running Endogenic Noise, still doing my thing. Arguably, I'm doing it all a lot more prolific. I'm a lot more prolific with things nowadays than I was back in the day. Like, I've been working really hard, and that's cool. So, yeah, I'm kind of at the height of like my creativity and what I'm doing. So, figured it'd be a good time to just before the year closes out to just fucking make another one of these and talk about my thoughts on the current labels and what I think of stuff now and talk about some new ones and just generally chat about shit, good shit and bad shit and the middle shit. Yeah. So we've got our usual tiers. We've got S is the best, F is the worst. Hiatus is for labels that are on a break at the moment for whatever reason, but will probably be back. And dead is for labels that are dead. They're gone. They've closed down. They've ceased operations for whatever fucking reason. And I've left all the dead ones from last time in here because why would I have to add them again? Well, I also kind of hoped that some of them would come back, but as you can see here, none of them have come back. So before we get started, I just want to talk about the dead labels right now. This tier is going to get a lot bigger, by the way, because apparently people have a habit of opening up net labels, realizing how much work it actually is, and then giving up within like a month. So that's cool. So let's just fucking start. I'm not going to focus too long on these, but I just feel like I should get some thoughts out because there's interesting things to talk about here, except for whatever. So Delta Vega and U26E7, whatever the fuck it's called. I don't know how the fuck you is that how you pronounce that? I don't fucking know. It's the worst name for a label ever. Genuinely, fucking War on Woke was a better label name than this shit. But yeah, I'm just gonna talk about these two together really because they both sucked balls, and they were both planning to come back at some point. You go on Delta Vega's page, even just now, I'm pretty sure that says planning the epic comeback. Um, but they've never came back. I think there was an archive or something put up somewhere of all the releases, but um, I've heard through the grapevine that Haldane has publicly said that there was never any plan to come back. So I don't know why the Bandcamp page says otherwise, but yeah. Um, that doesn't mean Haldane hasn't tried to fucking come back with a new label. We'll talk about that when we get to it. It's really funny actually. But I talked a lot of shit about Delta Vega in the last video, And I just want to reiterate it. Yeah, I was right, and I'm glad that I was proven right, and I'm glad that they never came back. And I'm glad that Haladine was exposed for being a piece of shit, because she's a piece of shit, and she's a terrible person. And is still trying to weasel their way back into the fucking scene. Anyone who buys that shit is a fucking retard, and I have no respect for them, because this person scammed people out of money. They took money for merchandise that did not fucking exist, and then never shipped the merchandise and pocketed the money, and then when they were confronted about it, blamed their mental health. Bullshit. Bull fucking shit. I don't care how bad your mental health is. If your mental health is so bad that you scam people out of money and don't pay people and don't ship merchandise out, you shouldn't be running a fucking label. Give it to someone else, or just put a hold on all merch orders. Now, I spoke to May actually afterwards, and she said something about how apparently the tapes did eventually get shipped or whatever, and it was a bit more complicated, but I don't fucking care. You dropped the ball, you fucked up, and it ruined your entire label, and you deserve it after all the horrible shit you did to me and my friends. Go fuck yourself. So yeah, fuck Delta Vega, glad they're dead. The other one, it was supposed to come back. God's Drunkest Driver was talking about bringing it back, but then it never fucking came back, so... I think they started their own label, but I couldn't find it, and I remember when I did check it out back when it first opened up, it wasn't very good. Better than this shit. I mean, this was probably the worst label ever in the history of underground music. It was really bad. Like, they fucking paid for, like, fucking Bandcamp label, everything, like, you know what I mean? Like, they paid for a label account and everything. It was still fucking terrible. I've got no idea what Moe Addict is doing with their life now. Probably fucking shitting up heroin or something. I don't fucking know. Whatever. I'm glad it's gone. Glad they're gone. Another fucking terrible person, terrible label, terrible people all worked with it. Abstract Trauma Recordings. Didn't really talk about them much in the last video. This is a Carry On's old label. It was replaced by Triumph of Kings, which also is now shut down, unfortunately. But I didn't include it here, but he did start another label called Untitled Record Label. And they were awesome. And I would have included them here, but they're also gone, and I cannot find their fucking logo, so I couldn't add them to the list. Kind of sad that label's gone, to be honest. Out of all of Carry On's many labels, Untitled Record Label was really, really good. They even put out one of my fucking albums, which was cool. But label's gone. There's no archive of it. None of the releases on there are available anymore. The Bandcamp page is just fucking gone. You know, as much as I respect Carry On's work, me and him, I wouldn't say we're friends, and we certainly don't see eye to eye on a lot of things, especially politics and, you know, certain topics, which I'm sure you can all guess. But, you know, he's messaged me a few times and said, you know, I think you're fucking weird, and I don't like that you, like, you know, have this political view, and you, like, blah, 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 but, you know, I respect your work. And I said the same, you know, I respect your work too, man, you know. We've done a couple of splits together. He featured in one of my albums once, you know. It was cool, you know. But I just wish that he would fucking archive stuff. That label had so many good releases on it, and they're all fucking gone. You can't listen to them anymore. Why? Even if you're gonna abandon the label, just fucking leave it up or archive it or something so people can fucking enjoy it, you know? Like, I get maybe not being proud of something or whatever, or wanting to move on to like newer pastures or whatever, but I really, really hate the idea of not archiving stuff. Like, all my stuff is archived, even the stuff that you can't listen to anymore. I've got it, you know, somewhere in a vault somewhere, you know what I mean? My very first split, it's now a subscriber only release on my Bandcamp because, you know, I just don't really want to be associated with that artist, and they didn't want to be associated with me. But I'm like, the split's cool, so it's there. If people want to listen to it, they can subscribe and get it. You know what I mean? But whatever. Carry On's free to do whatever he wants. He's also started another label, which is a fucking out of left field for him. But I'll talk about that later on in the list. But yeah, I'm sad that Untitled record label's gone. That's a shame. Liquid Magic, it got replaced by Night Prowler Recordings, which we'll talk about in a bit. Really sad what's happened with that label. I hope it's not gone, but we'll see. Coffin Dance, I was like really fucking upset that they were shut down, but you know what? In retrospect, it's been a couple of years now, and you're like, I don't really care. They were horrible to me. I submitted a song to their compilation. It got accepted. It was included on the fucking CD, all ready to go. And then the day of release, I was messaged and told, oh, by the way, sorry, and we have to remove you from the compilation. Because there's a couple of artists on the compilation who really, really don't like you, and they don't want to be on the compilation if you're on it. And if that was my label, I would have told those people to go fuck themselves. But apparently Beachgrave valued these people's input more than mine. So, and also fuck Beachgrave. I don't fucking talk to Beachgrave anymore. Fucking two-faced, snaky cunt. So yeah, whatever. I don't care if I start fights by saying this stuff at the end of the day. I'm not even on social media anymore. I don't see anything that people say. Like, I'm completely off of Twitter. I'm not on socials at all. The only way you'll find me is Discord or on this channel. Or in SoundCloud. Like, I don't use anything because fuck the community. I don't really care. I don't care what they think about me. I don't care anymore. So, yeah. You want to fucking send me hate mail? Fucking post it in the comment section, and I'll probably just laugh at it and delete it because I can't be arsed. I don't have time for this. But yeah, fuck Beachgrave and fuck the label. Shit. This label here, what was it, Net Positive? I spoke with May after I dropped the last video, and she explained why Net Positive's gone. She basically said that, in her opinion, there is very little benefit to having a label in the modern day. Like, there's too many net labels, and there's no benefit to a net label to starting your own label, and I just do not agree with that. I think that's a really, not just a misguided opinion, it's also just very wrong. Like, I run Indigenic, and we benefit the artists a lot, and we do a lot of cool things, and we have a sense of community, and it's really, really nice. So, and also, now, I haven't spoken to May in about a year now, but she's kind of fell off the grid and doesn't really make anything anymore, which is a shame because, we had our issues in the past, but we did end up reconciling and, I would say we kind of became friends again. And, she apologised to me for a lot of the things that she said. I apologised to her for all the stuff I said, and we were cool, and I think she's made some really bad music as well, like fucking Normie Filter and stuff, but like for the most part, like she's a very talented artist, and I'm really sad to see that she's just kind of disappeared. I know she watches my videos, so if you're watching this, mate, I really hope you're doing well, and you should reach out if you want to. But yeah, cool. And then there's Cumwalls, it's just Stranded's old fucking meme label. He did like 2 releases on it and closed it down. Fucking Gunner. Yeah, it never came back, obviously. Whatever. Love the dude though. So we've got a lot to get through, and I want to try and get this under 2 hours. So let's fucking start. So, Indigenic Noise, my label. We were in A tier last time. Now we're in S tier. It's not a joke. I'm being 100% serious here this time. I'm sure a lot of people will be like, "Oh, humble yourself." No, I'm not interested in being humble. It's been a couple of years, and I feel like we have really, really improved. Our branding's so much better. I mean, look at that logo. That's such a cool logo. It's made by Stranded. We still have like Indigenic Chan and stuff, but like, you know, like that's our logo. It's cool, you know. So people can't cry about AI shit anymore. You know, I genuinely don't see a problem with AI art. By the way, I think AI art is a really really beneficial tool, and it's really cool. And I really don't care about the moral implications or whatever the fuck. If it gives me art that looks cool, I'm gonna fucking use it. I don't really care. So yeah, but whatever. You know, ENR's really doing well though. I mean, we do physicals now. We do CDs, cassettes, vinyls. You know, we're putting out new music almost every single day. We're still doing it. You know, I went on a break for like half a year, like 4 months or something. And when I came back, and immediately I announced the label was back open, I was met with a fucking slew of messages just being like, "Can I release with you? Can I release with you?" And it's like, "Holy shit, guys, come on! I'm literally back 2 hours." You know, people really, really, really like what we do, and I was genuinely so fucking surprised at how much support we got when I came back. You know, I thought I was gonna come back from this break and that we were gonna be a fucking dead label and that would be it. You know, I would just have to give up. But no, we came back to tons of support. We came back with an amazing compilation called Indigenic Will Never Die with like 40 tracks on it, all fucking great. You know, we're doing another compilation in November. We've done our Christmas compilation in December. Um, we're just constantly putting out stuff, and like the stuff we put out is great. It's varied. Like, you know, I say this a lot nowadays, but I genuinely feel like there is no other label like us. Like, I'm not saying we're the best label, but in terms of like our unique little niche, there is no other label in this community that is doing what we're doing. You know, because we don't limit ourselves by genre. Like a lot of people look at us and go, "Oh, it's just harsh noise wall," and that's not harsh noise wall though. It's every genre. We do harsh noise wall, breakcore, drum and bass, kawaii future bass, rap. I mean, today we put out a harsh noise wall album, and then right after it, we put out a fucking anime plug hip hop trap track, both back to back. You know, that's how diverse we are as a label and how different we are. We have such a unique catalogue and varied catalogue. And I feel like we just don't get enough credit for that. Like, you know, we genuinely are a chaotic label. We just put out anything that I think is good. And I'm really, really proud of what we've achieved, and I'm proud of what we stand for. I feel like a lot of labels nowadays have really, really lost sight of what being an underground net label is all about, you know? They want to be safe, they want to be marketable, and if you want to do that, that's fine. I have no interest in being safe and marketable. I don't want to be a label that everyone loves. I want to be a label that stands for something, and what we stand for is being weird and being unique and being yourself. That's why we're called Indigenic Noise, by the way. A lot of people think we're called that because we're like below underground, because indigenic means rising up from the underground, and that is part of it, but indigenic also means indigenic also refers to indigenic plural systems, which is what I am. And being indigenic is being yourself. It's about being who you really are. And I don't think any artist should be ashamed to be who they really are. I don't think any artist should have to play it safe to be accepted. As long as you're not actively harming people in the real world, and you don't have views that are genuinely harmful, like you're a Nazi or something, you're welcome at Indigenic Noise. I don't care who you are. I don't care what your views are, as long as they aren't super harmful. I don't care what kind of music you make. I don't care about any controversies or beefs you've had. If you make cool music and you want to find a place where you can be accepted, our door is always open to you. We don't care what gender you are. We don't care what you identify as. You're welcome here. And I don't think that many labels can honestly say that. They can pretend. They pretend to be inclusive. And then you go and read their rules and like, you're just like, oh, okay, so like 90% of people who are actually like weird to make music aren't allowed here, you know? We're a very small community, but we're a very accepting and loving community. We're like a family. And I'm very, very proud of that. And I'm proud of the music we put out. I'm proud of the releases we do. I'm proud of everything we've done. And I think anyone who, I mean, if you don't like what we do, that's fine. You can go listen to some other label. I don't care. But I think anyone who tries to discredit what we've achieved and what we stand for is incredibly jealous. And I do not care if that makes it sound like I have an ego. I'll just say it, yeah, I have an ego about this label because I work hard on this label. I work on this label every single day of my life. This is not just, it is a hobby. You know, this is all a hobby to me. It's not my job. But I treat this like a fucking job. I work on Endogenetic Noise Records every single day of my life, except Saturdays and Sundays, because that's my days off work and that's my family days. But every single day I check my emails, I curate releases, I put stuff out, I'm marketing stuff, I'm contacting people on Discord and whatnot, trying to find new artists to work with us, I'm making compilations, I'm always doing something for the label. Every single day. This is not just some fucking little side gig I'm going to get bored of in a couple of years, like a lot of people do. This is genuinely my passion. This is my passion, my biggest passion project. And that's why, as we always say here at Endogenic, long live Endogenic, because it's never going to die until I'm fucking dead. I have zero intentions of giving up on it. And all of that is why I think we deserve S tier. So yeah. Next we have No Sleep for Bedtime Records. They're still an A tier. Great label. They've been a bit slower the last couple of years, but you know, they're still putting stuff out. They put something out in August, I think. Wish there was more of it. But yeah, they're still doing their thing, which is really cool. You know, if you want dark side, hardcore, Shrans type music, that's your best place to go. Not much else to say really. They're great. They're still doing really, really well. They're still putting out cool stuff. So yeah, go check them out. They're one of the best trans labels in the underground. Next we have Yuri Society. I'm putting Yuri Society in S tier again. I know CERN last time was like, oh, I mean, most of it's just my stuff, but you know, CERN, you make cool stuff, so I don't really care. A lot of the stuff on here, you know, a lot of it's Lord Cernunnos' own stuff. Some of it's my stuff, mostly my Space Ambient project and my Dungeon Sim project. A couple of noise things from you there as well. Some of Himiko Katagiri stuff's on there as well, like side projects and that. But all the stuff on here is stuff that you won't really find anywhere else. It's all quite unique and weird, quirky little releases. You know, a lot of it really pushes the boundaries for what music can be, and still that's a thing. And I find that really interesting. So yeah, you know, Yuri Society, it's not got like a massive roster of people, but it's a super unique label, and there's not really any other label like it. So yeah, go check it out if you haven't already. Next we have Sua Digital Records, and I'm kind of sad to do this, but yeah, I don't know, they don't seem to be dead, but they're on like a hiatus or something. They haven't released anything for a couple of years now, and that's really sad because they are one of the best underground hardcore labels in the world, and they've just kind of died out. They're not really doing anything, and that's really sad because they also wiped a whole bunch of stuff from their catalogue. I don't know why. But yeah, really sad. I hope they come back. The guy who runs it is doing a few other label things now, but yeah, they seem to be on a hiatus right now. But I really, really, really hope they come back, because they did a lot of good stuff, and I will miss them if they go away. Next we have Omoid label, still S tier. We had a bit of a scare with them last year because the guy who runs it, he actually had a heart attack. Really, I was fucking devastated when I heard about it. He was in hospital and he almost died. Thankfully, he's okay. He's made a full recovery, but it's really gave him a kind of new view on life. And for a while, he was considering just quitting the label and just not doing it anymore. Like he planned to shut it all down and just kind of do their last release and then go live his life while he still had it. He was basically told that his heart was so stressed out that he needs to like eliminate stress from his life. And I think Omoid label was a big factor in that because he was constantly putting out releases and working on it and stuff. They've since come back and they're still regularly putting stuff out. I left him a comment asking if they were back, and I got some weird kind of, he's Japanese, so his English isn't the best, and he said something about how someone else is running it or something. It was in really weird broken English, so I don't know if that's actually what's happened or if it's just been lost in translation. But regardless of how it's being run, it's still putting out regular releases, and they put out. They're very similar to Endogenic. They're putting out hundreds of different types of music and from loads of different artists, and it's constant new stuff, and it's all weird and unique and interesting. So yeah, Omoid label is still at the top. They're still one of the best labels in the entire community, and I wish more people would give them credit because they're fantastic. Next we have Dream Catalogue. I put them in D tier last time, and this is kind of funny, but I'm not joking. They're dead, and I genuinely think they're actually dead, like gone for good. Meme Catalogue is fucking dead, guys, and it's not even a meme anymore. It's real. Apparently Lucid just got bored and just went. He just started putting out a bunch of shitty meme releases that no one liked, and then just went fuck it, and then just gave up. They haven't put anything out for over a year. From what I've heard, they haven't even. People have bought merch from them. They've took the money and they've not even shipped the merch out. They've just totally given up on the store and everything. Like, as far as I know, the whole label is just fucking dead. And there's been zero communication with the customers about what's happening, and respect to the guy. He's got a daughter. I can sympathize with that, empathize with that as well. I have a daughter too. I think he genuinely just wants to get rid of all this shit and just go be a dad, and that's cool. But bro, you need to fucking communicate with people about what the fuck is going on, because people have given you money. I always thought Dream Catalogue was super overrated anyway, and not really that interesting. I have a lot of respect for what they do, and Lucid made a fucking living off of the label. It was his job, that's impressive. But I mean, it's just another fucking vapor label, man. Like, it wasn't that great. So I'm not really sad that they're dead. I just find it kind of funny because everyone was always going on about how amazing Dream Catalogue is and how Lucid's a genius and how all the artists on there are the fucking best thing ever. Fucking Shima33 is like, oh yeah, fucking Kiss the Ring, bro. And it's like, your label's fucking dead now, isn't it, bro? Who are you now? And I feel really bad because I won't say who, but there's a kid who used to work with Dream Catalogue, and he kind of built his career working with them, and he's just been left out to dry. He doesn't have. He has nothing now. He has no following. He has no clout. He has no fan base now because Dream Catalogue's gone. So he has to do everything himself now, and he's a bit lost. And he's grinding. He's trying hard. He's making lots of cool music. He's a very talented guy. You know what I mean? But he's just been left out to dry, and I feel like a lot of the other artists on this label are probably in a very, very similar boat. So yeah, they're gone. Shame, but also not really. Next we have Tsundere Violence. I'm going to put them in A tier this time. I still think they're a really, really solid label, but the last year or so has been a bit lacking. Himiko brought the label back and then went on a big long hiatus again, and he's recently come back, and I mean the stuff he's put out has been phenomenal. He put out his own breakcore album, Wake Me Up When Breakcore Ends or whatever. And that is easily the best breakcore album of 2024. Like, hands down, it is the best album in the entire genre for 2024. No other breakcore album came close to being as good as that album. Phenomenal stuff. And I really, really appreciated that. In the description, he was basically like, breakcore was originally made by weirdos and strange people, and it was all about having fun, and I want to do that again with this album. And he did do that, and it was cool, you know. Just I can't put them in S tier just because they haven't had a lot of stuff the last couple of years, and you know, not all of it's been amazing. I mean, most of it's been great, but I just wish there was more of it. I feel like, I mean, Himiko is. I think Himiko has a lot of mental health issues and like really struggles with like he has imposter syndrome and stuff, and like really struggles with you know, how many eyes are on him, and you know, there's a lot of pressure to keep being the best, but you know, so I get it, but also I wish there was more stuff because I love this label, but you know, they're still really solid, and they can definitely get back up to the top again if they get back to regular releases. So yeah, keep doing your thing, Himiko. I love what you do. Next we have Cumjar Records. Dead. Shit label, shit person. They even removed Stranded's album off there, which is fucking hilarious, because they kept going on about how I'm a creep and all that shit, and then it's like, you put out my friend's album. Fucking Stranded is like me on steroids. He's like ultimate gunner, you know? And then I think they realised their mistake and they're like, oh shit, I better delete this. This was just a shitty meme label anyway. All the stuff on it is garbage, except for Stranded's thing. The guy who runs it's a fucking jackass. Fucking talentless bellend. Fucking terrible. Just everything about this label is terrible. And, you know, again, you're gonna cry about fucking anime girls, and then your fucking branding is the Cumjar meme. But, you know, whatever. Shit label, shit person, shit music, shit everything. Glad it's dead. Don't fucking come back. Next we have Mad Breaks. I don't really know where to put this. Oh, fuck it, I was going to put it here. Yeah, Mad Breaks is dead. Not yet, but it's going to be dead. They've announced that at the end of this year they are closing down. For some fucking reason. I always thought Mad Breaks was a really fucking overrated label anyway. But, you know, they still did some really good stuff. And they had a really, really good thing going. So I have no idea why they're closing down. I don't know if the owners just got bored of it. If maybe they just don't want to do it anymore. You know, there's lots of reasons. But, yeah, they're shutting down. And it's a shame, because they really put out some cool stuff. I think a lot of the stuff they put out is very overrated, but they still put out some cool stuff, so it's a shame, you know. One less pretty good label, that's a shame. So yeah, R.I.P. Mad Breaks at the end of this year. Maybe they'll change their mind, though. If they change their mind, the next year I'll move them back in, but yeah. Next we have Liminal Records. S tier, one of the best labels in the scene. They've been a little bit slow the last few months. I don't know why, but you know, they put out a great catalogue of stuff. They are incredibly professional. They released my Witch House album earlier this year, I think, and that was awesome. I was really, really happy to see that. They also put one of my Yu Yu Yuki tracks on a compilation for Pride Month. That was really cool with them. I just really appreciate that they're a label that does not care about drama or beefs. You know? I obviously have a lot of controversy surrounding me as an artist for various reasons. You all know why. But Liminal just don't give a fuck. You know, people probably could email them and be like, fuck you putting out Yuki's stuff. They don't care. They just want to release good music to their people, and they do that, and they just get on with it, and that's really fucking cool. You know, they don't care about drama, they don't care about beefs, they don't care about anyone's opinions. All they care about is putting out good music. So, fucking props to them for that. And all the stuff they put out is fucking solid. Really, really good stuff. You know, whenever I've submitted stuff to them, they've been very, very polite, very cordial, very professional. Offered to put it on Spotify and everything. You know, they're great. They're just a really, really easy label to work with. So yeah, props to Liminal for being one of the best labels and most professional labels in the entire community. And you know, keep doing your thing because you guys are doing awesome. Next we have Vaporscape Records, A tier. I've not been super keeping up with them the last couple of years. But they're still regularly putting stuff out. You know, they're quite similar to Indigenic. They've got a massive, you know, library of releases, loads of different genres. That's really cool. Yeah, they're still doing their thing. They're still regularly putting stuff out. Maybe reach out to them sometime and release something with them, if they're interested. We'll see. But yeah, good stuff. Next we have Fujimi Industry Records. That's Koakira's label. Really solid speedcore, breakcore, splittercore, extra tone label. Yeah, a lot of their stuff recently has mostly just been Koakira's own stuff and a couple other artists that they work with a lot. But you know, small roster but solid releases. Really, really good stuff. If you like speedcore, definitely go check them out. They're great. Next we have, what's the fucking name of this one again? Hold on, I always forget this one. Caliber Plus. They're on hiatus, I think. I'm not comfortable putting them in dead because their page is still up, but they've not put anything out in a couple of years, so yeah, they've went really quiet. Not the biggest loss anyway. I mean, they're good, but they're not like amazing. So yeah, hopefully they come back at some point. But yeah, that's that for now. Next we have Doomcore Records, S tier, still putting out loads of stuff. Not as much as I would have liked. They've also been a bit slower recently, but they're still putting out some amazing stuff. You know, they're keeping the whole Doomcore genre afloat. You know, Low Entropy is a fucking awesome artist, awesome dude. He's worked with Indigenic a couple of times on compilations. They even took my Doomcore projects first EP and put it out on Slowcore Records. I'll get to that later on in the list. Yeah, great label. Really amazing. Really, really, not a lot of people really will care about Doomcore shit, but I fucking love it. I love what they do. So, yeah. Go check it. If you want some slow, sludgy, cavernous, hardcore music with an industrial touch, go listen to anything on here. They are great. Really, really good label. One of the best. Next we have Dark Impact Records, who have recently rebranded to a merger. They are now Dark Impact Records and Asmus Records. A tier. So yeah, I don't know what this is all about, but it looks like they've merged with another label. And they're still, they put out one release a month. It's always dark side hardcore, kind of broken dark hardcore music, really noisy, chaotic, energetic, dark, industrial techno kind of stuff. Great label. Still doing their thing. Still love what they do. They're one of the best labels. They're really, really good. Yeah, they're doing well. Keep it up. This one's unfortunate. Next we have Night Prowler Recordings. They were in S tier last time, and I'm not comfortable putting them dead yet because I haven't asked Timmy, but from what I gather, they're not coming back anytime soon. They had a few releases, all of them were pretty good. You know, they had a great catalogue, they were doing CDs, they were doing it all professionally, they were just really, really doing a great job. And then, I don't know what the fuck happened. I think Timmy just got really overwhelmed with everything and just kind of put it to the side, and now it's just kind of not a thing. It's been on break for a couple of years now, and I don't want to say it's dead, but I don't think it's coming back, to be honest. Which is a shame, because I think they were one of the best labels ever, and they had such a good niche, and they had such a good thing going. But, you know, not all good things last forever, so I hope they come back, though. I would really, really love to see them come back. But we'll see. Next we have Mimi Records. I'm going to put them in C tier. They're still active, still doing stuff, but a lot of it's not really my thing anymore. But they're good. They're good. They're fine. They're pretty serviceable. A lot of it's kind of... It's interesting stuff, but it's not stuff I'll ever really go out my way to listen to. A lot of it's kind of free jazz and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, they're still doing their thing, which is nice to see. I'm glad they're still doing it. Next we have Mobcore Chicago Records. So they were actually very quiet until very recently. So I'm going to put them in A tier. You know, they've got a lot of cool, interesting stuff. They don't really have a genre. They kind of go from like metal to hardcore to techno to fucking weird ambient stuff. Yeah, they're doing really good stuff recently. They've really, really picked themselves back up after a really quiet spell, so I'm glad that they're back and doing their thing. Awesome stuff. Next we have Slowcore Records. S tier. They're this sub-label of Doomcore Records. They focus on even slower industrial techno music, which Low Entropy calls slowcore. And yeah, there's nothing else like it. There is nothing else like it. It is such a unique and interesting label. You know, all the stuff is like, just, you won't hear stuff like this anywhere else. You know, there's some songs that go for like 2 beats per minute and all that. It's fucking mental. And they also accepted my slowcore EP, which is so fucking cool of them. It just came out today. So I'm really fucking excited, because they're one of my favourite labels, and I got to release something with them, and that's so fucking cool. So my slowcore, doomcore side project Marn is on Slowcore Records. You can go check it out. I'm not endorsed by them, but yeah, all jokes aside, yeah, I'm really, really happy that my stuff's on there, and I hope to make more of it and release it with them as well. So that's so cool. And they're a cool label, and they have a very, very unique and specific niche that no one else is filling, so good for them. Next we have Vomit Gore Records. Dead. They haven't released anything in over 2 years now. Kitty Gore's too busy being a fucking TikTok celebrity, making shitty generic breakcore. So yeah, label's dead. Glad it's dead. The way they treated me in the past was fucking despicable. Yeah, fuck them. Dead. And I'm glad they're dead. Next we have Noisejay, A tier, really solid dark hardcore label. Very, lots of noise as well, lots of crossbreed. Very unique label. Still doing their thing, still releasing stuff. Love what they do. Next we have Hard Impact Records. I'm sad to say they're gone. Don't know why. They were like the mainstream version of Dark Impact Records. Their whole thing was, we release hardcore music that's for like, more general audience. And I can't find them. Their Bandcamp's gone, their website's gone, all the releases are gone. It's just gone. I don't know why, but I'm really sad to see it gone, because I really liked what they did. So yeah, Hard Impact Records is dead. Rest in peace. Next we have Full Metal Records. I'm really torn where to put this one, but I'm going to put it in the hiatus. They've not had a release in a while. Good riddance. They're a shit label anyway, and the guy that runs them's a fucking wee dick. So yeah, they haven't done anything in a while, and the last, their submissions are apparently closed. And also, I guess I'll just talk about this shit because it's funny. So they would always go on about how I'm a fucking creep and a weirdo, right? Because I fucking like anime girls, right? They put out a cassette by CDR. Yes, that CDR, the lollycore artist who ended up getting outed as a sexual predator. They obviously didn't know he was a sexual predator when they put his cassette tape out. But when that came out, they did not make a statement. They didn't condemn the actions of him. They just quietly removed it from their Bandcamp and pretended like it never happened. And that's really funny, because for a guy who constantly goes on about how he hates predators and how, Yuki's a creep and blah blah blah, right? When you worked with an actual predator, you covered it up and didn't make a statement about it anywhere. What, because it was bad press for your fucking shit label? That you put out one of his cassettes and sold them for money? Yeah, I'd feel the same way too. But if it was me, I would have just put out a statement and apologised, and it would have been it. But yeah, fuck Full Metal Records, fuck Fully Cooley, and fuck CDR. And fuck anyone who's a predator, and anyone who works with them and covers it up. Yeah. Don't come back, please. Next we have Church of the Noisy Goat, B tier. They're still putting out a new thing almost every single day. I really like what they put out, but at the same time, it's a lot for me to fucking keep up with, and I can't listen to every fucking release they put out. There's too much of it. It's great. Great stuff, and if I ever do find time, I listen to stuff, but I can't keep up with their catalogue. It's just fucking mental. They're putting out a new thing almost every fucking day. More than we are. They're even crazier than Endogenic, and that's fucking saying something. So yeah. Pouring more wine. I'm having wine with this video, by the way. Anyway, what's next? Omnicore Records. I'll put them in B tier. They're great. That's the other sub-label of Doomcore Records. They're like a kind of general label, like catch-all label. Basically anything that isn't Doomcore or Slowcore, they'll put out. Really cool label, yeah. Some of it's a bit generic, and some of it's not my cup of tea. But, for the most part, yeah, they do really solid stuff, and it's nice to see them kind of go outside of the Slowcore, Doomcore stuff. So yeah, great label. Keep doing it, Launch. I really enjoy it. Next we have Lost Frog Productions. You know where this is going. S tier. Best label. Best fucking label in the entire scene. No other label is as good as Lost Frog. They are still the best label. They are still the best. They have the best, best branding, best curation, best roster, best releases, best everything. They are the best label. They've been focusing a lot more on Daria-core recently, but unlike most Daria-core, the stuff they put out is actually good. So yeah, I just love everything they do. Everything they do is fucking fantastic. They're constantly, starting the trends. They don't chase trends, they start trends, and everyone else copies them. Haro has a fucking amazing ear for great music, and everything that they do is everything that we aspire to be. So, thank you, Lost Frog, for continuing to support true underground internet music. And I hope that you keep doing it for the next 2-3 decades. Absolutely love it. Everything they do. Best label. Period. Next we have Dismiss Yourself. Just shite. Just overrated shite. I went in a big rant last time, but I really just do not understand why this label is considered so good. They're so boring. Like, they're not like the worst thing in the world, but they're so boring, man. Yawn. Just, I can't, if you wanted to name like most generic boring label of all time, it's probably this one. I'm not impressed. Next we have Care For You. Haven't done anything in 2 years, so I'm going to put them on hiatus. I'm assuming they're not dead because Dismiss Yourself is still going. Oh fuck, I forgot about that actually. Yeah, Dismiss Yourself also goes down low on the list because they had some issues with their shipping and they really, really, really fucked up. Like, I don't know the specifics, but they really fucked up with like merch shipments and yeah, people were not happy. So, and when you're a big label who, you know, has all the resources to not fuck up, how do you fuck up? Makes you wonder, doesn't it? Yeah. Anyway, so Care For You's on hiatus. Not much else to say. They're better than Dismiss Yourself, but they haven't done anything in 2 years, so. But they're probably not dead. They're probably just on a break or something. Next you have Aesthetica Cybernetica, B tier, still doing Neurofunk, still good stuff, still awesome. Yeah, love it. Next you have Ultra Gash Records, A tier. One of the best labels in the entire scene. Been a bit quiet though, which is the only reason they're going in A tier just now. They've been a little bit quiet, not been doing as much. But they're still solid. A lot of the stuff they put out is stuff you won't find anywhere else. Very unique types of noise and sample core and whatnot. Great label. Really, really good. And the guy that runs it is just so nice and awesome. So yeah. Next we have Suicide Records, S tier. Best fucking label. Not the best label, but they're one of the best. You know, they put out really interesting breakcore related music that doesn't sound like anything else. It's very dark, glitchy, chaotic breakcore, which perfectly fits the aesthetics and branding of the label. They're just really, really great. Really experimental breakcore, which is a godsend in this day and age where most breakcore just sounds the fucking same all the time. So yeah, you know, Shincode makes awesome stuff. He combines like glitch noise with like breakcore and ambient breaks and stuff. It's awesome. Yeah, one of the best labels in the entire scene, and no one talks about them enough. Next we have Kitty on Fire Records. They were in C tier, I think, last time, and this time I'm putting them in F tier because apparently, not only are they releasing really uninspired generic shite, apparently they're also scamming people. They're not paying artists. Apparently Arcade Trauma, I think that's who it was. I'm gonna feel bad if I got that wrong, but I'm sure Arcade Trauma basically made a whole thing about how he wasn't paid. You know, and I don't really like Arcade Trauma, you know, he doesn't like me, whatever. But I still think it's shit that he did not get paid for his fucking royalties for his merch. Apparently this is a very common thing that they do. Apparently they also don't ship people their CDs properly. My friend Usosuke, she ordered a CD from them and they sent her a blank CD with nothing on it. How do you even do that? How is that possible? And then when she asked them about it, didn't get a response, didn't get an apology, didn't get a refund. It's been like 2 years now or something, still no response. So yeah, fuck this label, fuck the people that run it, and yeah, F tier shit. Next we have Third Eye. Dead. Oh boy, who could have seen this coming? Surely not me. Yeah, they're dead. After I made my video last year, Mifro apparently just gave up and got bored. I guess. I don't fucking know. Yeah, he just gave up. He was just like, oh fuck this, you know. After all that talk about, oh, we're making big moves and we know how to game the algorithm and we're doing things no one else is doing, you release a bunch of generic shite plug music and then you quit. Now I heard they put out a compilation or some shit about a year ago, or was it this year? I think it was this year. But they're not coming back. They're fucking dead. Mifro doesn't care about the label anymore. He's gave up on it. He's bored of it already. You know, which is a shame because, you know, the very first video I did, they were one of the best labels on the list. They had a incredibly varied catalogue, very unique catalogue, lots of releases, all different genres, very unique, lots of like diversity. Solid branding, great management team, everything was going so well. Then Mifro decided to rebrand the entire thing, fuck the label into the ground, kick off the one manager person, Temmie, who knew what they were doing, and replaced him with fucking the Cum Jar Records cunt, who was a petty little fuck who didn't know how to run socials and didn't know how to keep personal grievances out of business. And yeah, the label just fucking died and it became shit and now it's actually dead. So yeah, shit label, will not be missed. Goodbye, Third Eye. Do not come back, please. Terrible fucking label. Next we have Mallcat Records, and I just realised I forgot what they're even doing. So let me go check. So, Mallcat Records, they're on hiatus. They haven't put anything out since 2023. I know that it's run by like a high schooler or something, so that's probably why he's probably just busy doing his homework. But yeah, they're on hiatus. The last thing they put out was Temmie's album, and it was really good. But that's the last thing they've done. They were okay, pretty overrated label. They were all right. So yeah, shame, but maybe we're back one day. Kinpatsu, A tier, really solid label. I'm still regularly putting stuff out every once in a while. Not regularly, but every once in a while they put something out. You know, it's like Gabber, Lollycore, Noise, Grind Noise, Lolly Grind. Yeah, really solid label. Not many labels like it. Really embrace the weird degenerate side of things. So I really like what they do, and I hope that they keep doing more. So yeah, they're solid. Really love what they do. Great label. Next we have Nakamata Records, which is DJ Izumi's label. A tier, solid label, really good. Love what they do. You know, lots of lollycore, breakcore, stuff. Yeah, they're great. They're not there's not many labels like them. You know, they just really embrace weird otaku shit, and I love what they do. So yeah, keep doing your thing, Izumi. Next we have Geometric Lullaby. Boring, really boring, overrated vapor label. I'm pretty sure last time they were higher up, but I just don't care about anything they do. They're just so generic and boring and uninspired and overrated, and everything sounds and looks the fucking same, and I just don't fucking care. But hey, you know, they've got a hustle and it works, so good for them. Next we have Focus on the label. See what I mean when I said that this category, this tier is going to get full quickly? Yeah, Focus on the label is also fucking dead. The guy who ran it just fucking gave up and was like, yeah, we're not going to be a thing anymore. They've closed down the store. You know, they're not doing anything anymore. He just gave up. That's it. It's finished. They were huge. You know, they were really getting big. You know, they had amazing branding. They were doing great. Like, you know, they didn't like me apparently. They blocked me or whatever, which was fucking cringe and gay, but you know, also really ironic given the artists they work with, but whatever. But you know, I respected what they did. They were overrated as fuck, but they were still putting out good stuff. And yeah, they're dead. They just gave up. Okay, yeah, fair enough, I guess. It's a shame, but you know, it is what it is. So that's another decent label gone, and not coming back, which is kind of a shame. But you know, also, you know, I'm not gonna like super cry any tears about that. But yeah. Next we have Olivion Records. Looking like they're on hiatus as well. They were the sister label of Delta Vega. After Delta Vega's bullshit, they kept going for a while, but they've not done anything for about a year. So yeah, they've went really quiet. You know, they kept themselves kind of away from all the drama, all the bullshit, which is, you know, good for them. Thought they were very overrated and shit, and I hadn't really seen anyone talk about them. Still haven't. But you know, props to them for doing their own thing. But yeah, they're on hiatus now. It seems they're not doing anything, which is, you know, anyone who's associated with Delta Vega, I'm not gonna cry about them. Yeah, but if they come back, I'll maybe check out what they do. Sure. Next we have, oh, I can't wait to talk about this one. Chordfuck. So last time I put them in F tier, they were one of the worst labels on the entire fucking list, and they're at the top now. I love being right. I love being right about everything. It's so funny. It's so fucking funny. I said within a year of making that video that Chordfuck would be gone. They wouldn't last. And I was right. I was fucking right. They're gone. Forever. And you know, I really just didn't care for what they did. I thought that the way they acted online was incredibly annoying. Their branding sucked, their music sucked, the person that ran it was a fucking hypocrite, their management team was shit, all the artists who worked with them, except for a couple, were incredibly juvenile, young, annoying people with stupid views and who don't know anything about the world. But I heard that when they shut down the label, when they were closing down the Discord server, Vixie said, "Someone tell Yuki." I just love being right. It's so funny. It's like a fucking meme at this point. Every time a label comes after me in Endogenic Noise, it's like a curse is placed on them and they just shut down eventually. Might take a year or two, but they always fucking disappear. As for why Chordfuck shut down, well, here's a funny story. So, apparently, one of the main moderators, Guns for Frogs, who, funnily enough, called me a creep over Anime Girls, ended up being a sex pest and started sending unsolicited dick pics to people. This is one of the reasons why Chordfuck shut down. They tried to sweep it under the rug apparently, but it all came out, so that's really funny. And also really funny that once again someone who called me a creep over fucking drawings ended up being a creep. Damn, it's almost like everyone who does that is like projecting. Wow. Who could have seen that coming? Yeah. And also, funny story, but recently, apparently, Deepest Pussy, they go by I Like to Stay Home now or something like that. And Starmoon, who they're now married to, apparently. That's fucking weird and unexpected, but you know, happy for them, you know. Uh, you know, they tried to bring back the label like a couple of weeks ago. They're like, oh, we're going to take over Cardfuck. With you know, Vixie, me, Starmoon, and Vixie are going to take over the label. We're coming back. We're really sorry for you know, the delay, this brief interruption, but Cardfuck's coming back. And I was like, oh wow, they're coming back. And then within a day, they shut down again because apparently I saw a screenshot somewhere that said Deepest Pussy or whatever put out a fucking tag on the Cardfuck Discord and was like, hey, we're just going to start our own label because of allegations. Allegations, you say? I wonder what they could be. I wonder what the allegations are. It sure would be very interesting to know what the allegations are. Gee, I wonder if maybe the whole time, as always, they were projecting about me, huh? Wow, who could have seen this coming? Fucking hell. Every time. Every single time. They're always hiding something, guys. Every single time. Yuki bad though, am I right? Fuck Cardfuck. Fuck Vixie, and fuck their shitty label, and fuck all the fucking cunts that worked with them, except for Painful Acidic Mezzanine, because he's my friend and they're super cool and I love them. And you know, I wouldn't say I'm friends with Deepest Pussy, and I don't think they even like me, to be honest, but you know, I've got nothing but love for them. You know, I'm sure you fucking hate me now that you're married to Starman, who hates me, but you know, whatever. You know, nothing but love for me. You know, I'd sent you a nice email, you sent me one back, you know. We were quite nice to each other in those emails. You know, but other than that, fuck everyone else associated with this label, and I'm glad it's dead, and it should never, ever, ever, ever come back. Yeah. Fuck all of you people. And fuck you, fuck that Guns for Frogs person. Creepy, creepy bastard. Genuinely creepy cunt. Yeah. Glad they're dead. No fucking loss to the scene whatsoever. Literally, no one cared. Anyway, false number, fake Numberland, false Numberland, fake Numberland. Meh. Kind of boring. But they keep doing stuff, so that's good. Don't really have much else to say. Pause and reflect. Dead. Really, really cool label with a really cool and curated like release schedule. But yeah, they're fucking they're thingy, yeah. They're dead. The guy just kind of stopped, so that's a shame. But you know, it is what it is. Paradise Records, they're dead. It's just becoming a fucking meme at this point. Every fucking label's dead. Yeah, they were on hiatus for a long time, and from what I gather, they still haven't done anything recently, so I'm just gonna consider them fucking dead. Sorry, your Sierra Mist is apparently going through a lot of bullshit. Whatever, with addiction and stuff, so, you know, he's like a drug addict and that, so, but yeah. That's probably why, but yeah, label's dead, but it is what it is. Yeah. Okay, next we have Favicon Records, and I'm just going to assume that they're fucking dead too, because we ain't had anything from them in a while. So yeah, it says on their page that they're currently looking at moving them to a new home, but I don't know if I believe that. It's been fucking 3 years now. Like, if you're not coming back, you're not coming back. You know. But I hope they come back because Favicon's cool and the dude that runs it's awesome. So yeah, we'll see what happens. Next we have Dreamcore Records Inc. S tier. Fucking fantastic couple of years they've had. They've been an amazing label, one of the best in the entire scene. You know, they do focus a lot on dream punk and vaporwave, but they put out breakcore, they put out noise, they put out kind of anything. They're kind of like, I would say they're basically Indigenic Noise's sister label at this point. I always say that Roboticoder is my big sis, because she is. You know, I love her. She's one of my best friends. Wish we'd talk a bit more, but you know, she is one of my best friends, and I love her to bits. And I really, really love what she's doing with her label and what they stand for. They're fucking solid. They're one of the best labels in the entire scene. They don't give a fuck about any bullshit. You know, they put out all my music. They don't care, you know, about any of the drama and stuff, which is nice. You know, they gave me a chance, and I really, really appreciate that. And also, they even put me on their fucking festival. They did a URL festival this year, and they put my fucking set on it. I was the third artist on that set list, next to Roboticoder, who owns the label, and Dirty River, who's a big artist. You know, that was really, really flattering to be the third artist on the lineup. She said, "You're one of our best artists," and I thought that was very, very nice of her to say that, because I do not agree at all. But yeah, Dreamcore is really fucking killing it. They're really, really doing amazing stuff. They are one of the best labels in the entire scene, and if you don't already follow them, you should, because they are doing things the way the Indigenic Noise is. And Coders flat out told me our label wouldn't exist without yours, and that's incredibly flattering to hear, because they are just amazing. So yeah, great label, one of the best. Next we have Imploding Sounds, B tier, really solid noise label, doing awesome stuff. Not got much else to say, but they're still doing their thing. They're great. Yeah. I actually have I thought that was Cumwalls. Oh fuck, I got them mixed up. That's the other one. I cannot remember its name. Cumwalls is dead. Lol. Yeah. Next we have File Under Records. Kinda boring. Don't really care. That's what it is. Cityman Productions. I loved this label. They were fantastic. Got a few cassettes from them. Brilliant. Just really, really, really good label. One of the best. And they're gone. They shut down. The guy had viewed it that it's ran its course, and he just stopped doing it. No drama or anything. No real reason. He just felt like it had run its course, and that was him. So, you know, fair enough. But I miss them. They were really, really good. One of the best. Sad to see them go. Major loss for the scene. Basement Corner Emissions. S tier. One of the best noise labels in the entire scene. Puts out a new release almost every day. Constantly running stuff brilliantly. Ken is a fantastic curator. Really, really nice guy as well. Just everything. He just loves what he does. And his label is fantastic. He put out an amazing compilation. It was the 1000th release on the label, and it was just fucking hours and hours and hours of noise. And I was on it. Lord Cernulos was on it. He was on it, obviously. No Joy was on it. Just every fucking important noise artist who actually matters was on it, and I got to be on it too, and that was so fucking flattering and just so nice. And like, that was such an ambitious project. It was a crazy fucking album. He spent weeks putting that shit together. Like, he loves what he does. He works so hard, and everything he does is great. And the label is just probably the best noise label in the entire scene. So yeah, go check him out. Red Bear Records. I think they're on hiatus. Haven't done anything for 2 years. Kind of boring anyway. I thought they were kind of comer-upper, but they just kind of gave up. Fair. But yeah. Sound for the Soul Records. This is the last one from the last video. B tier. Really good label. Their whole thing is basically putting out compilations of like noise, compilations of drone, compilations of ambient. Every compilation is themed to a certain genre and style, and then they basically just put loads of submissions together and release these big compilations. Cool stuff, but I've never been accepted in a compilation, which sucks, but you know, whatever. Maybe they just didn't get my email or something. But what they do is really cool. And there's not many other labels like it. Not everything's my cup of tea, but they're good. They're good. So on to the new labels that were in the last video. We have Formaldehyde Production. This is NoJoy's label, and I'm putting them in A tier. They're so fucking funny. I opened up the label to just see what they've been up to, and the first release was like an album called like Big Black Cocks or something like that. NoJoy is just so funny. He just doesn't give a fuck. He just fucking puts out whatever he wants, and he calls it whatever he wants. He doesn't care. And it's what's even funnier is, like, despite this, everyone just seems to be blind. Like, he'll put out a release like called, like, you know, fucking the lolly up the ass or something like that, and like no one sees it. They just go, oh, this is cool. You know what I mean? Like, if I fucking did that, I'd be fucking cancelled immediately. But NoJoy just fucking does whatever he wants, and it's funny as fuck. He just doesn't care. Everything he puts out is just fucking degenerate and just purposefully trying to be offensive, and like no one gets mad about it. And the ones that do, they're just fucking crybabies. He did a split with Amir one time, and everyone's like, why is Amir doing a split with NoJoy? And it's like, because NoJoy's funny and he makes good stuff. But yeah, this label is basically just NoJoy, the label. Like, everything on it is super edgy, dark, harsh, crunchy bullshit, and it's fantastic. I fucking love them. I wanted to do a release with them, but he said they're on a bit of a break just now, so I have to submit to the other sub-label, which I didn't add to this list. But yeah, great label. Formaldehyde Production's great. Next we have Delicate Records. Oh god. This label is fucking balls. They used to be like a fucking rock label or something. Punk or some bullshit. And then like they were like, oh, we're going to branch out to other genres, and they started putting out fucking drum and bass stuff. And the reason they're so low, by the way, isn't just because their music's shit, because it is shit, but the way they handle things is incredibly unprofessional. I was on someone's album that released on this label. There was an album by an artist called Monitor Kernel Access, who's a fucking talentless belletin, by the way. And I basically featured on his album. I produced an entire track for him, and he just added a bunch of fucking drum loops to it. You know, the entire song was my fucking work. And he got mad at me over like fucking, I don't know, probably the usual shit. He got mad at me over fucking Anime Girls, and then was like, "Oh, can you remove this credit off?" So the label removed my credit from the track and kept the track on there. So my work is being sold on their label, on CD, on vinyl, without my credit. I'd rather you just remove the fucking song from the album, because it's my work. I made it. I made that song. But you know, incredibly shit thing to do to a small artist. But yeah, whatever. It is what it is. Um, but yeah, it's really soured my opinion on the label. Fuck them. And fuck Monitor Kernel Access too. He said on Album of the Year, fuck you, Keynoise. Well, fuck you too, you little fucking bell end. You can't even make an album more than 20 minutes long and call yourself an artist. Alright. Maybe you'll get there one day, son. But at the end of the day. Next we have Toxic Lolly Records. B tier. Haven't done anything for a while, but they're great. Degenerate, weird label. Really solid stuff. Painful Acidic Mezzanine actually recommended I add them to this tier list. So yeah, I really like what they do. I just wish they were doing it now. But yeah, they're great. Great label. Really like what they do. Next we have VTRI Industrial. I don't really know where to put this. I'm just gonna assume it's dead. So this is Haladine's attempt at making a new label. The owner of Delta Vega trying to make a new label. Constantly hyping up at the time. Oh my god, my new label, guys, go check it out. And then they put out like one incredibly boring signal wave noise thing that was total garbage, and then put out someone else's album that was really short and crap, and then just dropped off the face of the earth. Haladine's gone again, disappeared. The label hasn't posted any updates, so probably realised, man, I'm not cut out for this shit, and then just gave up. And I really, really hope that is what happens, because Haladine does not deserve any fucking praise. She doesn't deserve any forgiveness for what she did. She is a shit person, and her label was shit. She scammed people, and she should keep being gone. But if they come back, I'll go check out their catalogue and make fun of it. So yeah. Next we have Welcome to Clydebank. Clydebank. I know where that is. It's my country. Yeah. Welcome to Clydebank. Great label, great noise label, based in Glasgow, where I'm from. Weird degenerate guys do some crazy shit. Do a few live shows too. Apparently, haven't been to any, but apparently they do live shows for like their noise artists and stuff. Might show up one time, sell some CDs or whatever. Yeah, fantastic label. Really, really good. Check them out. Next we have Midnight Mall. So this is Carry On's new label, Midnight Mall. I'm going to put it in D tier. I don't really get what he's doing here. It's apparently a vapor ambient label or something. It's not really his thing. I don't know what he's trying to do here. Maybe he's trying to branch out into new stuff or whatever, but I don't feel it. Like, we already have like 1 million vaporwave related labels. We don't need another one. But, whatever. I'm sure it's doing its thing or whatever. I just think it's kind of meh, to be honest. But hey, whatever. I respect the hustle. He's still doing his thing. I just wish he was doing Untitled record label instead. But it is what it is. Next we have AIN Records, Anti-Inverse Network Records, run by my friend Anti-Inverse. C tier. Because they're good. And they put out some cool stuff. They even put one of my things, a re-release of Total Bullshit the Enemy, with a couple of bonus tracks. But a lot of it is just kind of Anti-Inverse's own stuff, and he doesn't really seem to push it all that much. And he should. If you're watching this, dude, you gotta push your stuff more, like your label more, get more releases on there. But yeah, it's good. It's fine. It will be better probably once he builds it up a bit more. But yeah, that's getting there. Next we have Starwork Recordings, which is a sub-label of Dreamcore. A tier, only because they've only had one release so far. Soon to be two, because my shoegaze album's going on there. But yeah, the only reason they're in A tier is because they've only had one release so far. It's a really good one. They're branded solid, and it's run by Coder, who runs Dreamcore, so I know it's going to be fucking great. But it's just too soon to put it in S just now. But yeah, Starwork Recordings is basically another Dreamcore, and they're great. They focus more on the kind of mainstream music, more appealing music, compared to like vaporwave and stuff. But yeah, they're great. Next we have I think, what's the name of this one again? Volkov Records. C tier. They are what the guy who runs Suda Digital Records is currently doing, and it's fine, but it's nowhere near as good as Suda Digital Records, and a lot of it's just kind of generic gabber shit. It's good stuff, but I just wish it was Suda Digital Records. So yeah, but it's fine. Moth to the Flame Records, B tier. They're great. They're doing some cool stuff. They have the Chio compilations, which I was on the second one. Is Plapping Chio. Yeah, great little label. Really, really awesome stuff. Really unique. Lots of different genres and sounds and styles. Fantastic stuff. Check them out. Next we have RER, which is Painful Acidics label. A tier. They're still quite a new label, but they really have the makings of a great label. They have a very good community on Discord. Their Discord server is super chill. Lots of cool people. Lots of people who I really look up to are in there, like Travongle and stuff. Painful Acidic is one of my friends. I really like their music, and I like them as a person. Really, really nice person. I'm really happy they've decided to go do their own label. It's great. They put out there's a split with Lord Cernunnos' project Yuri. I think they've got a few more releases coming down the pipeline. Yeah, everything they've put out so far has been phenomenal, and they really have, they're really taking it seriously. They've got like a YouTube channel set up. They're putting their stuff on archive to avoid Bandcamp being Bandcamp and being annoying. They really know what they're doing, and they're taking it seriously. And I really look forward to seeing what they do down the line. But so far it's looking great. So yeah, if you're watching this, Painful Acidic, keep doing your thing, because it's really, really good, and we need more labels like this in the scene, because most of the good ones are dying or on hiatus. So yeah, keep doing your thing, and I look forward to seeing what's next. Maybe I'll even send something in if you'll have me. Okay, next we have Breakcore Demon. I'm not even sure I should really be calling this a label, to be honest, because it was originally made to just do one big massive compilation, but they've since put out something else, and I think the guy that's running it is wanting to do it as a label. But basically, a guy who was really, really, really into breakcore decided to get a bunch of his favourite breakcore artists together to do a massive compilation, and under the guise of it's the Breakcore Demon, and the fucking compilation was mental. It was insane. So many good artists on there. Some shite ones too, but for the most part, it was really, really good, and it was like a massive celebration about the genre and everyone who works on it. And wish I was making breakcore at the time, because I would have fucking put something in, but whatever. I probably wouldn't get accepted. They're gonna stuff shit, but it is what it is. Really, really good release. Really, really good label. Yeah, I really hope they do more stuff like that, because it was solid. So based on that one compilation and the other release they've done, I'd say this is A tier. Very good label, if it is going to be a label. Next we have Tree Critters. So this was a label run by Starmoon, Blushy Buttercup, and Bong Ross? What kind of fucking name is that? Dead. I wish I had them on the last tier list, because then I could have been like predicted that they were gonna die. But I knew they were gonna die, because they were like a label run by like some very toxic people, and they started this label, they put out a compilation, realized they weren't getting any traffic, and then decided to do the dumb thing of start drama for some reason. They basically said that all breakcore artists are pedophiles or something like that. Yeah. And then a lot of people got mad at them, and then they were like, "Oh, we can't handle this harassment." And then they like went all dark on social media, and like they're closed down their Bandcamp for a bit. And then they kept saying, "We're not gonna die. We're not dead yet. We're not dead. We're not gonna die. We're still going." And I kept saying, they're gonna die. They're definitely gonna die. And they died, because apparently there was lots of infighting between the people who ran it. They all started to hate each other, which is really funny. So yeah, the people that ran this label are all fucking horrible people. They're all nasty, toxic, drama-oriented losers, who cannot help but shut the fuck up. They don't know how to shut up, basically. And I know you could say that about me. I'm talking shit about all these labels and people and stuff, but I don't fucking care. I'm not on social media. I don't give a fuck what people say about me. I've heard it all before. Any drama I've started has been because people started drama with me. And all these fucking people who ran this label all fucking did it. One of the owners messaged one of my friends that did a collab with me and threatened to cancel them for working with me. Like, that's so fucking horrible. What fucking business is it of yours who I'm friends with? You know what I mean? Don't fucking message my friends and tell them to not work with me. Fuck you. You know what I mean? You don't even know me. You don't even spoke to me. And you're fucking doing that shit, you know? So yeah, shit label, glad it's dead. Fuck Tree Critters. And it's also really funny because they kept saying, "Oh, we're a boundary pushing label for boundary pushing artists," and they just put out shite. Fucking furry shite. Anyway. Oh boy, I can't wait to talk about these cunts. Cheapskate Records. F tier. So this is the new card fuck. Well, one of two new card fucks. They're trying really, really, really hard to be the new card fuck. That is their whole thing. Their whole thing is we are a successor to card fuck. They are run by a child. They're run by a 15-year-old who is incredibly immature, who is also incredibly hypocritical, and they actually started an entire campaign to cancel Indigenic Noise Records for some reason. I don't know why. I had never done anything to these people. They tried to start drama in my fucking collective Discord, because I'm one of the owners of the New Flush Collective, and they tried to fucking start bullshit in there, and I just banned them because fuck you. I'm one of the people who owns the fucking place, so fuck you. But yeah, and then ever since that little spat, they started this whole crusade to like get me cancelled, and everyone just laughed at them. They're mad at me for the usual shit. I like anime girls. I'm an adult who retweeted adult content on my adult profile for my adult followers. Apparently that's not allowed. And also, all I'm going to say is, I don't want to fucking hear anything from someone who's not even old enough to have a Bandcamp page. Because, on Bandcamp, you've got to be 18 or older to own a Bandcamp page. That's part of the terms and conditions. If you're under 18, you shouldn't even be on the fucking website, let alone running a fucking label. So when I hear all these fucking children making Bandcamp accounts, bro, this is an adult-only website. Fuck off. Go do your homework. As for the label itself, The music is all shit. It's all terrible. None of it is good. They have this really weird fucking stance against anime porn shit, and then at the same time they're putting out an album by Travongle, who is a lolicon, who makes lollicore music. Funny how that works, isn't it? Yuki bad, but let's put out the album by the guy who made entire albums about lollies. It's times like this where I wish people like Travongle would realise, do a bit more research on who they're working with. But no hate towards Travongle, man. I love his shit. He's a fucking great artist. But really makes you question where people's morals really are. This label, if they're working with someone who apparently stands for everything they're against. But and like, I don't know. This is probably the worst fucking label in the entire scene. They're terrible. Everything they do is awful. It's generic. It's bad. The kid that runs it is a talentless hack who has who should just go do his fucking homework, And I think it's mental that there's people who are like in their 20s and 30s talking to this guy. If you're an adult, why the fuck are you talking to 15-year-olds on the internet? You know what I mean? My community is 18 plus only. You know what I mean? Like, I have... Just, if you're in your 20s, why the fuck are you talking to children? It's fucking weird, man. You've nothing in common with someone that age. I'm not saying that, like, kids can't make music and be creative and stuff, but fuck me. This whole label just feels like it's run by, like, unfunny, talentless Zoomers who just learned how to make their first song or something. It's all garbage. And all the people that are involved with it are all garbage people too. The two owners are fucking garbage, talentless people. Fucking Monitor Kernel Access works for me. He's a talentless fucking bellend as well, who spends all his time fapping to fucking DDLC characters. You know what I mean? And then crying about other people's taste in fucking porn. You know what I mean? You fucking... DDLC, the high skill visual novel made by a fucking pro fiction writer. Yeah, okay. You know what I mean? Fucking unbelievable. What a fucking garbage label. And they're trying so fucking hard to outdo us, and it's just never happening. Fuck you. Next we have Dog Punk. This is the second Chord Fuck successor. This is run by Star Moon, who, after Tree Critters, decided, I'm going to try this again. And her wife, Deepest Pussy, also now known as I Like to Stay Home. They're very new. They've been around for like a week. D for Dog Punk. They're not terrible. They're just not really great yet. They've got 5 releases so far, and I just don't really see what they're doing that makes them stand out from anything else other than trying to be Chord Fuck again, which isn't a good thing. I mean, even the profile picture looks very similar to Chord Fuck's old profile picture. You know, they're really trying to just be Chord Fuck too. Also, Dog Punk is like, I know Lynn. That's I Like to Stay Home's real name. I know Lynn decently well from like we used to be very, very close friends. So I know what she's like, and I know how she thinks, and I know why it's called Dog Punk, like just based on her personality and the kind of person she is. If she's still that person, she might not be. It's been a couple of years, but so I get it. It's a very Lynn name, you know. But it's also a very bad name, Dog Punk. Like, it doesn't really roll off the tongue that well. Maybe it's just me, you know. That I like to stay home. Really, the thing is like there's stuff on there, right? That they've got 5 releases, but 3 of them aren't even like new. Like one of them is Starman's album, which is just the same album that came out like a year ago with a couple of tracks on it. So that's already a kind of low effort release. And then you've got an I Like to Stay Home album, which is basically just a bunch of Deepest Pussy cuts put into an album with a new cover. And then you've got another I Like to Stay Home album, but now the artist name has changed to like Dog Paws or something like that, and it's got a different name, I think. And that's also old material. And then you've got a couple of Daria Core albums, mashup albums. So like, the first 3 releases are already stuff we've heard before. It just feels like they're trying to bloat the catalogue a bit with old stuff, which is fine. You're trying to get started and get off the ground, and like, you want to have a solid catalogue to do that. But I feel like they're really rushing into like, let's get loads of stuff out, and a lot of it's just stuff we've all seen before. But I I don't know how they feel about this label. I feel like it could either be really really good or really really bad. Lynn, I Like to Stay Home, has a very good ear for good music. She's a very talented producer, one of the most talented producers in the entire scene. Um, she really, really does have a good ear for awesome music, and I think if she's heading curation, it could be a really good label. Starmoon, on the other hand, don't really like their music, and I feel like they're, I don't know, I don't want to say too much, but I don't really like them, and I think that they don't have a good ear for good music. So yeah, we'll see. This could really go either way. They could become one of the best labels, or they could become one of the worst. It really depends who they decide to work with and what kind of stuff they decide to put out and what direction they decide to go. If their direction is we want to be Chordfuck too, it's going to be bad. If their direction is let's do our own unique thing and it's curated with a good ear, it could be genuinely solid. I will say though, those Discord rules, man. God, those Discord rules. Don't be a pedophile, and then you immediately go on about lolly characters instead of like real people being groomed or something. Like, fuck me. That's just cringe. And also, Chordfuck guy. Do you not know who what Chordfuck was originally? Who originally ran it? And also, I just know, like, you don't have an issue with lolly. Fuck off. Yeah, the fucking coffin of Andy and fucking Lele fucking profile picture. Yeah, okay. You'd be a problem with lolly. Okay, I'm sure thing. You're a Higurashi fan, but lolly bad. Alright, okay. Whatever. Higurashi, by the way. Higurashi. The jokes write themselves. Next we have Coca-Cola. I don't know how to fucking say this. Coca-Cola Records. Shite. Yeah, not good. Just boring, generic shite. That's it. That's all I've got. I'm getting tired. Noisy Neko Pause. They're on hiatus. It's run by Mekakawa Girl, who, I mean, I don't have a problem with them, but I don't think they like me very much. Yeah, this label is on hiatus just now. They say back soon or something like that, but fuck knows what's happening with that. They do lollycore, mashcore, breakcore, pretty good stuff. But yeah, on hiatus just now. Communal Deafness Recordings. B. Solid noise label run by James Nathan Powell. I owe them a release. I'll do one at some point. They're great. Really cool label. Lots of ambient noise, beautiful noise stuff, harsh noise. Just a great label. Not much else to say. Stems Audio. A tier. Solid noise label. I owe them a release as well. I'll do one at some point. I'm hoping to get something over to them by November. But we'll see. Great label. Love them. Love what they do. Ethithal Records. This is run by my friend The Rights. C tier. Only reason for that is they haven't done an awful lot and they really need to give the label more time because it could be something good. But for now it's only got a handful of releases on it and they're all great, but we need more. So yeah. Server of User. B tier. This is Trevongo's label. Really good label. Lots of cool breakcore, lollycore, speedcore, all that kind of stuff. Stands out a bit from the other labels. Run by Trevongo, who is cool as fuck. Yeah, they're great. Solid. And finally, we have Siberia. SVP Siberia. So this is another label run by someone who's very, very young. He's very immature. Who it's very hypocritical. You know, he's like, again, this is someone who went on the crusade to cancel me at one point, and then they're working with like all these artists who agree with me on that stuff. They work with lollycore artists, and they're like, not all lollycore artists are like that. No, most of them are, and most of them are the ones you've worked with. You know what I mean? But all that aside, I do respect the hustle. Like, this label is very successful. The kid who runs it is doing a very good job. But I think the music is balls. And I think that the management is not very good. And I think that the label could be so much better. There are much better labels out there. Even labels that do the same thing that are better. But yeah, could be worse. But yeah, E tier. And that's us. That's us done the labels again. So I hope you all enjoyed my hot takes. I hope you all enjoyed my semi-drunken rants towards the end. And I hope that if you enjoyed this video, give it a like, give it a comment. If you have any suggestions for any other videos, tier lists, or bullshit you want me to talk about, tell me, and I'll do it. And yeah, that's it. That's the labels. See you in 2026. Yeah, I know I got a bit heated at the end, said a lot of shit, but fuck it, I don't care anymore. Like I said, I'm not on social media, I don't give a fuck what any of these fucking people think. I do what I want. Anyway, I'm gonna go and watch some TV now and go to bed. Good night, everybody. And I have been Yukes, Yuki Noisewall, whatever the fuck you want to call me. And I will see you all in the next one. Hopefully it won't be another year. Maybe I'll make something else. See ya.